Good morning everybody. Here we have a mighty Ford Territory Ghia Turbo. This thing is in here because it has got rattles and noises and he wants it just to be a little bit better. All-wheel drive variant. Intercooled turbocharged engine. We are the mighty Barra. Not sold in the USA. Because Aussies are special. Now let's get into this little beastie and see what it is I have to do. I think this might be a 2007 model. Let's have a bit of a look. Nope, 2006. Okay. Well, let's have a look and see what we've got here. With an indicated 177,971 kilometricos on the odometer, let's give it a bit of a start up. I think that'll do us for sound. Just out idle. But hey, it's short. We're burning plastic. Not a good thing. We do have a way of fixing this, and the mufflers on these, being turbocharged, are different, as I just kill that flow of electrons. The mufflers on these are different to the normal Territories and the normal Ford Falcons. While they are both the same basic vehicle, the bodies on them are different. Where pipework goes is different. So let's have a look underneath and you will see a very unusual sort of muffler setup. We have got life support attached. Why are those headlights on? Let's just have a look. Turn that off and I'll just lock it. There we go, that should shut the lights off. Okay, so up we go. Really important when you put cars up in the air to make sure that they are resting down safely on a mechanical lock mechanism. You get a cable breakage, what do? You get split. Not going to happen. 6.5 ton hoist goes up oh so slowly. Well, there's the first clue. Just a wee bit short and melting the plastic. A little bolted on aftermarket tip. Mounted up there, sort of kind of jigsawed, and this one, I don't know how that's meant to do anything. This is all 3-inch through here, 76 millimeters. But that's not the interesting part about these exhaust systems as we continue our elevation towards the sky. Going up with my fingers in the way, yes. Okay, now lowering it down for safety. Aha! On the hard locks, it's not going anywhere. Cables aren't holding it up, it's on ladder bars. Okay. Looks similar to normal Territories, but gee, a lot bigger. Huge muffler, but they're a twin inlet. Now from the factory, this side is blocked off inside. They only run one side. I think this vehicle's been here a couple of years ago. He asked me to remove that little blockage, which that would indicate the welding. And we've got lots of rattling here. That's purely and solely this. They always rattle when they lose any packing. You can't really fix them except crimp them up a little bit more. But today's task, put in a more free flow muffler in there, extend the rear. He's hoping to get rid of some droning. Well, with it not even exiting the back, the whole back's going to be droning. And without a resonator in the rear, it is going to drone. But this will be done as per request. So, best we get into it. And in the blink of an eye, okay, it's detached from the vehicle here and just here, and this is the muffler with the May 2006 stamp. What's unusual about them is in the inside. You see how they split into two different ways. Okay, down each way, and it's actually a pressed metal interior. Different. And of course, going through here, so it really is a twin muffler. Can't see much without me cutting it open. I might do that later. That's if he doesn't want it back. Anyway, carrying on. This needs to be all cleaned up, and this needs to be cleaned up so that we can join to it, because we don't really want all this silicone like chewing gummy material on there. Perfect opportunity to get it out and clean up these brackets. Do 2 or 3 things in one process to make life easier and better all the time. Well, the tailpipe has been detached from the rubber. I won't say rubbers because, well, that one just wasn't. So he's going to cut it there, clean up all this area. Perfect time to buff around here, because that's what we'll be joining to at the back. Put it up in place and make that second bracket. From there, once this is sitting where we want it, put the muffler in with a stand and build forward. But now is the perfect time to look up inside the catalytic converter, which is way up there. If you ever get the chance to look inside a catalytic converter to tell your customer, do it. If everything's fine, great, they're happy, you're happy. If anything is wrong, they can plan for it, and they'll probably thank you for letting them know what could be a catastrophe if they didn't know. So let's have a look now. Got my little camera all set up, ready to go. Oh, put him up in said hole, and in we go. What are we looking at here? As we go in and in. Oh, there's the substrate as we get closer. Okay, what I can see is very good material. No signs of any deformation, and I'm getting that out of there before it melts. There's physically a lot of difference between the OE muffler and the one that's going on it. The one that's going on it is very straight through with fiberglass. This other one's got all kinds of pressed metal things. If I'm allowed to cut it open later, I'll show you, because they're unusual. This stud pattern is a very unusual stud pattern. It's like no other stud pattern. It just about fits that one there. Trouble is, that's a 3.5 inch hole. So just expanding this out to be about right there. We'll get it up in position, tack weld it, pull it down, fully weld it, done. Again, an unusual plate there. It'll need to be reused. But with that much room to come around, I'm going to cut it here. It's going to have some of the original tubing in it, which is 409 grade stainless steel and as long lasting as you will ever get. I'll use this little nipple tube, put in a collector and 2 pipes in. Okay, I'll start by cutting him off, cut it off there and there, reuse that after it's all cleaned up, and then build back to that with a collector. Now when it's all cut off, you're going to have sharp dags and soot and everything there. But this part doesn't matter because it's going. This part does matter. And you'll see young grasshopper is currently in the process of cleaning it up, and look at all the soot coming out of that. We don't want that there. We want it to be nice and clean for better welding. This will get trimmed up, buffed back to be nice and shiny, good metal against good metal. Naughty Mr. Grasshopper wasn't wearing gloves till I pulled him up. Keep the young people learning safety at all times. All it takes is a bit of that metal come flying off and hit you, goes into you, and it's a welded paint that you don't really need. This cleaning part is really critical to make sure that you get good penetration of your weld without causing porosity. And it looks neater, it works better, it's faster, it's easier, just because you took time to do the preparation. As you can see, that's all a bit better, having used the flap sander and wire wheel. Just don't forget where your gasket's going to go. We don't want any of that and going up. She's right, mate, not good enough. Sort of there, but I'm not sure I'm happy with that. Let's go for a little walk. Well, hello there. And a very light linish to get rid of any nasties. Nothing heavy. And there's a little bit, you see the shiny bits on the edges? They're high spots. Just want to lose those to give the gasket a better chance of working. Yep, that's brought the edges down nicely. Okay, back across the workshop floor, because, well, there's the floor. Alright, this is going to be bolted back up on the vehicle. The back of the cat over there still needs to be cleaned up pretty much the same way as this one did, only we're not going to pull it off the car to linish it. Oh, young grasshopper's already been up there, look at that. Well done, lad. Okay, let's bolt him back up without a gasket, because we'll probably pull it down again to make sure everything's welded, and see how we can build back from there. Because at this stage, we don't have the tailpipe, we don't have that tailpipe mounted. We don't have a muffler in place. We've got to see where things are going to be. So a little while later, we've got the two mounts on up there. So this is sitting where we want, and we can work forward to the join at the back of the cat, and then we can finish off the back there. We'll have to cut it back and reshape it because that's how he wants it. Big plate is now tacked in. We're going to be having a collector just in there, and two pipes will go into that, which will come across to there. So it's going to slip over there, into there, weld it all together. It's nice and flowy, and we're not going to have any restrictions at all. So we're just having another piece cut over there at the moment in the bandsaw, but I've got a piece here on the bender, and we just need to expand the inlet of it here. So just bring that up, and that is 2 1/4 inch outside diameter. A little taper will bring it into there, so that'll make the inside of this 2 1/4 inch. Just like that. Inside of that now should slip over the tubing up on the car. Just like that. Now with a little bit more welding. Whenever the welding is going, it's always really bad on the sound, but you'll just have to live with that. Well, I just thought I'd pull the camera away there for a moment so it didn't end up having to buy another one from Burnt Lenses. But every time there's a welder or a compressor, it plays merry havoc with the sound on this. So I am filming through a Galaxy A54 telephone. I don't have a GoPro, I don't want one, I don't have a remote mic, I don't want one. There's a pretty big rate of attrition of anything I touch, always dropping, banging, getting them burnt, damaged, whatever. So anyway, that's being tacked together, then it'll be pulled down, fully welded, prepared, put back up. Keep watching, you'll see, won't be much longer. So a little while later, we are all cleaned up, welded, prepped and painted. It's just got to have that main bracket put on when it's up in position. Just letting that very high temperature exhaust paint flash off now, and it'll go up on the vehicle. So now all done and completed, tailpipe extended out to where it needs to be, a little droopy and stainless like he wanted. Clear of everything, so we look pretty. Alright, a little bit of a tweak on these heat shields now to stop that, hopefully, and we'll see how they go. I believe there's no fiberglass in them, so I can only do what I can do with that on this 19-year-old motor car. Alright, time to fire it up and see what it sounds like. Well, as you can tell, without that rear resonator, it is very deep. It does burble a bit when you give it a rev. But as far as droning goes, won't know till it's driven. Under the car itself, not too bad, and no longer had the rattling heat shield. Certainly the big sound. Judging by the doof music, I don't think the exhaust sound is going to be too much of his worry. Just backing it off the horse now. And take it back into the hole. Killing ignition. So there you go. His radio hasn't cut off either. Yeah, let's do that. There we go, that stopped it. And here goes Adam driving off. People like to hear drive-away sounds, so here he goes. Not the gentlest of driver, but he's going to love it. Alright, thanks very much for watching. I appreciate it. Remember, on Facebook, please comment, like and share. Follow the page. For my YouTube viewers, please consider sharing, following, in this case, subscribing. It costs you nothing, there's no fees involved, and maybe share it with somebody who out there has got a Ford Territory Ghia Turbo. Thanks for watching, I appreciate it. See you later.